Welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge podcast. I'm Alexis.
And I am Samantha. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Welcome back. I'm good. Normal things. Work is like randomly picking up. I have a fan right now, so it looks like my hair is blowing in the wind at times because I have a fan. Our air condition is trash. But anyway,
oh my
I'm good. Like, work is normal. Work is work. I randomly have a lot of work this week, but I'm trying to just not think about it. Saw Courtney yesterday. Got some drinks. That was fun. Just chilling. What's up with you?
Yay. Family reunion was this weekend. That went really well. Your girl won the what did we call it? Tyler Idol. We did karaoke. Me and my cousin
That's
Sherry, we won our karaoke, which is like
That's like Akila's baby shower.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. I'm like, did I win that time too? I didn't even be a singer. And I almost won. We play Spoons, this card game called Spoons. And I was the second runner up, and that was my first time ever playing because it gets very intense. So yeah, I had a very I felt like a winner coming out of this weekend. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Just getting into the week. I did work yesterday. I have a few days off. And today's Callie's birthday. Shout out to my baby Callie.
Shout out to Callie, original dog.
Yes.
We got a lot to talk about today. We have a lot of fun topics, y'all, that are just about not just not just celebrities as much as we love to talk about them. So let's get to it. Do you want to start with what I was coming with?
Yeah. Who's on trial, Alexis?
Okay, so I was just scrolling TikTok and I just found a lot of interesting conversations, and I was like, I'm so curious what's Samantha thinks.
Yeah.
So we'll start with this one. So I was scrolling and I found this tweet. It was a quote tweet of a tweet. So the tweet says, "No disrespect at all, but white people really make dating look so simple and easy." And then someone quote tweeted it and said, "I think that's partly due to it being a cultural norm. In the white community, teens take their partners home at high school and families are guiding those relationships. Black teens are taught dating is a crime and then are expected to pull a spouse and a kid out of a hat." And so I sent that to Samantha and I was like, this would be so interesting to talk about. So what are your thoughts on that? On everything that I'm saying right now. What are your thoughts?
I mean, initially it reminded me of that conversation we were having at Aries' first birthday of just the sleepovers. Remember we were talking about would you let your kids?
So we were like, would you let, say you had a 16-year-old and it was after, it was oh, mom, can I have my girlfriend spend the night for the weekend? And then we asked would you be okay with them being we're gonna watch a movie in our room, and if they shut the door, what are the boundaries here? And It was so funny because pretty much all of us were no, except Julia the whitey, who was Julia was I mean, of course, maybe, they're gonna do it anywhere.
I don't think Julia was there. I think
Julia
Courtney was there.
Julia was on the couch. Oh, maybe it was Courtney.
I know, but she left, and Courtney was just more so saying yeah, I could see, some she was a little, because it was me, you, Veronica, and Courtney, and so I feel me, you, and Veronica were just hell no, you are not gonna have no sleepover in our house, blah blah blah. And Courtney was come, wait a minute, at this age, this. So yeah, so that reminded me of that conversation, because I do feel that's a stark difference, within our cultures of, not that Courtney's white, but just it is frowned upon. You are literally, well, maybe let me talk about my upbringing, because I do feel teenagers are having sex. And so, but I do think it's more so secretly. It's not so encouraged. It's not I remember watching Sex in the City, the And just like that. And it was like Miranda, her son was like having sex in the house. And like,
Mhm.
they were just like, they were being loud and da da da. And I was just like appalled because I'm just like, that would never happen. That would never fly. So I could see that. I do think that I've always noticed that in white cultures, it's like a race. It seems like a race to like get married. It was like,
Mhm.
everybody that we went to school with, like in Holy Trinity or even like McNamara, I feel
Mhm.
like all the white people are like married, like
Absolutely. Yeah.
it was like, I'm looking for my husband. And I remember this being like our early 20s, like friends that acquaintances that I had growing up. Like in my 20s, it was just like, oh yeah, they're looking for husbands and we don't even really know what we're doing out here. And
Mhm.
then I do feel like, again,
Or
like
just
there's no like coaching from your parents. It's just like you're just out here. And then all of a sudden, one day your dad's like, so when are we having grandbabies? It's just like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, do you see the
I
dating pool
agree.
out here?
I agree. And it's like, this is another thing too. Growing up, like, it's not like my mother was like interested or was like training me to like be a person dating. Like, I feel like when I watch like Real Housewives, especially back when they had like kids that were like teens and stuff, they would be like, so like, who do you like? Like they would have to facilitate those
Right,
questions and just
right,
be
right, right.
what, like, who are you dating, and he's coming in homecoming and prom, and it's like my parents just like did not center my like their interest in me over like dating, and also have placed those expectations on me of like, so Alexis, who's your crush,
Right.
like, are you like anyone? And so I say all that to say I feel like it was just like that kind of set the foundation of how I like went about my life, and I feel like, you know I do think that white parents, this is just my perception from like movies and knowing white people and, shows, like they do put like a special interest in like the like dating and their kid dating, because I feel like that is like the purpose. Like, it's like you're finding your husband. Like, life is to like, as you're young, the purpose of being a young girl and woman is like that eventually, like, you're going to start dating and you need to start, you're eventually going to like find that your husband. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like, in college, like, I remember like the
Yeah,
white girls would
people
go to
went
like
to college
spring
for that.
break. Yeah, they went to, some people went to college for that. People like were taking like boys home for like, for holidays. They were going to
Mm-hmm.
spring break, like, and I just wasn't doing any of
Right.
that. And my parents never asked me like, are you seeing anyone? Are you going to bring anyone home? Like, it was literally just never even a thought. And I think that leads into adulthood. It's like, I was not in a rush to have my parents meet Julia. They met her way into it. And I feel like been together for years now and they don't even ask me about a marriage. I just think there's a different orientation. And I think maybe that's why it looks
You
so
said
simple
your
and easy for white people,
marriage.
because they've literally been doing, they haven't been doing that. They've been doing the shit since they were like 11 and 12.
For sure. Yes.
Like,
Like it is a welcomed conversation. Like, Connor has a girlfriend and like she's gonna be around and like from a young age,
exactly. Like, Connor has a
where
crush,
it's just like us, it's
you know?
like no. Like he's not coming with us nowhere, like we had to have boyfriends, I feel like, at the place that we were, or like, dating or whatever, like at school, at swim team, at like it's like this doesn't cross over to like home life until
Mhm.
I was much older, or at least like high school, like a late high school, like senior year, you know, it was like, okay, like this is who she's dating right now or
And
whatever.
it wasn't even like for me, it wasn't even like there was like rules to no dating. It was just that it was just never an expectation that I would be. Like I feel like they were just like,
Yeah, I was like,
like,
you want to
asking about
date?
my friends. Exactly, just asking about my friends, asking like what I wanted to do this weekend, asking about dance team, asking about, it's like the expectation was just never that I was, and I feel like there's an expectation possibly with white families where it's like, of course, when she's 13, she's gonna have a crush and she's gonna have little boyfriends and we need her nails. It's like that just
And
wasn't
I don't
even
even
like the
think
culture of that.
hooking up too. I think it's probably some like
That's true.
hooking up too of like, my daughter with their son or whatever. Like, I feel like that maybe
That's a
happens
good
more
point.
culturally, you know?
Why do you think that is though?
I don't know, man. I don't know why. Cause I feel like part of it's like feels like a good thing when we talk about our childhood of like that not being expectation or whatever. But then you go into territory which is like you don't talk about relationships at all and you just kind of figure it out on your own without kind of a roadmap of like, you're going to get your heart broken or like this is what you do or like whatever, like having like your parents be there for you in like a certain way, so like I guess maybe like do you feel like you're missing out on something by not having your parents be
I just feel like, I don't think I lost anything. Like, I wouldn't, I would like, I liked my upbringing. I actually like that it wasn't so like centered on like dating and like my parents being pressed about it. Cause I would be a different person if they were. But I'll say, like, yes, it definitely makes like talking about relationships a little bit awkward because it's like since we weren't, we're not in the practice of that. So now that we're like, randomly adults and I'm in a relationship and now you want to ask me about it, it's kind of like I do get still sometimes like, answer the question, let's move on, But I think that I don't know. I do think there's just a better maybe middle ground because I wouldn't want to raise my kid in a way where they're just like, I want them to feel comfortable liking people and having crushes and dating. But I don't want them to make it, I don't want it to seem like it's an expectation that, like, when you're in high school, you should have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And when you're in college, you should eventually have one too and hook up with a bunch of people. And then when you're a young adult, like, I don't want them to think there's expectations to it. And I think that that might be placed on white
right,
people young. And that's why they manifest in the way they are. I also just think white people are like, unfortunately in America, like desired more. So they're like constantly hooking up with each other. Right. But I just think that like, there's an expectation from white parents that like when they're in middle school, they're going to have crushes and maybe they'll have like, a little like puppy love dating. And then in high school, they're going to have a boyfriend or girlfriend. And then when you get to college, you're going to hook up with a bunch of people, but you're going to eventually have like find someone that you're going to date. And
right,
then when you get, maybe you'll date them in a young adult or not. And when you're a young adult, you're going to end up dating and like, that's who you marry. I feel like there's an expectation there and parents expect it. And I
right.
feel like there's a happy medium
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, I wouldn't want to place that expectation on my kids because I actually want them to live for more. And I just think that people that like are pressed over relationships in high school actually are like the most boring people. But I think that I want to also nurture a space where like, we feel comfortable to talk about
Yeah.
it. But I think at the end of the day, I think white
Like
people
if it
like, like
happens.
there's like, yeah, I think white families typically like, yeah, like the goal is the picket fence. It's like you live for the picket fence. Like, like that's what you're living for. You go to college for it, you get a job so you can support the family. Like it's like about the picket fence. And I just think that I'm thankful I'm not in that because I just feel like my mother never like made that the number one goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I think there is a happy medium where it's like, if that happens, if they happen to like have interest in romantic relationships or like, crushes or whatever, like they could tell me and like, we could talk about how that feels to have a crush and whatever. But
Mhm.
yeah, not the expectation of like, oh, I'm worried about Sarah because she hasn't, had a boyfriend yet. Like, no, that is,
Right. And I think that
and
those
I
are
don't know.
conversations that are
Yeah.
in white families when like someone is not dating in like eighth grade. They're just like, well, Sarah's
Hmm.
not really talking about boys. So,
Not eighth
like,
grade. All right.
like I feel like middle school is a big deal. And like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do think that white
it
people possibly
is.
make it look easier because they've been doing it since they were 11. Like they've been like play dating since they were 11, and their families have
Alex.
encouraged it. So it might look easier when they're
Yeah.
adults because they're used to this shit. I also think it's easier for them to date because
Yeah.
white people are more desirable, unfortunately, in America than other races.
I feel like, everything goes back to slavery. And I do just feel like there's an advantage to be able to even think like that. Like, I feel like we
I
have to be
agree.
so careful, of not making a mistake or, not having a baby before, like, in your teenage years and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like that is to like a
And just like
disadvantage where we
financially.
don't talk about family planning and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the white girl's mom might be
And
more
just like,
involved in providing protection and literally like on Mean Girls. It's
I,
like,
yeah,
do you guys need
I get
anything?
what you're saying. I also think
But
it's
yeah,
also this
financially
thing of
too.
like, white women are taught that like they can be like kept and taken care of by like a man. Like I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
see that with trad wives that are like that,
It's
like
a
that whole
real
thing comes around TikTok, and
reality.
it's like
Yeah.
I feel like our parents, black women, have like taught us that like you need to make sure you always have your own money, da da da. So I feel like that inherently doesn't like feed the narrative of like a culture where
Mm-hmm.
dating is
Put your
like
all into that.
is right, exactly. Put your all into that versus like there are white women who like that's what they put their all into,
That's
right? And so I
very
just think
real.
they're,
That's so
and I
real.
think it's partly because of that.
And I think like
Is it?
just talking to like Herbert and stuff, because like we be talking about like the patriarchy and just all this type of stuff, and like I try to see his point of view when he's like, there's a real suppression of black men like being successful or whatever. And so it's just like, maybe that's by design, that like a white woman can, whatever his name is going to get the job through, whether it's nepotism or somebody that they know, like they're going to be able to move up the ranks and be able to provide for another person and actually have the picket fence. Whereas like that option is not as, I don't know what's the right word, but like accessible to like the majority of black men in this country. And so,
Yep.
yeah, I
I
think you're
just,
right. I think it's like we are taught that you need a career. Okay. Like
right.
dating
That's
is
what
like
you
a
said.
side thing. And some
Exactly.
people,
And I,
and also I think we emphasize like coming together and, bringing your assets together in like a
and
more
just living,
soulful way.
and just living for more. Like like we don't have the privilege of like being able to just like live for the dream of like, we will just find someone who can provide and let's just call that. Like I feel like we're living for more. Like we're living for um community and like friendship and like making those memories, traveling, having your own money, generational wealth. Like I just think that like the way that people of color, I would even just say people of color, are raised, it has to be rooted in more than just finding your partner. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can't, historically we haven't survived off of just having a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Historically white women have
Mm-hmm.
survived solely on husbands for a while, where that was just they were at home and
Mm-hmm.
their husbands literally took care of everything. That's just not how we were, like we have survived. And because
Mm-hmm.
of that, I think that trickled down generation to generation where yeah, like we don't cultivate that space for preteens and teenagers and and young adults. And I think that's okay because I actually would want my kid to live for more. But I just think there's
The
more of a
only
middle
thing where it
ground.
gets sticky is, yeah, I think it's the middle ground, because it's like these kids are going to have sex. Like I think that black parents and black families, maybe because of like the we don't talk about it, there is some like shame and like, or you don't really talk to your parents about this. So like when you do have a crush or when you do like somebody, you're following the internet,
Mm-hmm.
versus like this is what this is like, and like, having the conversations when they need to be had. Cause I feel like a lot of teens do have sex, and it's just like, maybe there isn't as much. And like, I don't want to, this is where like actual statistics, can tell us like if that's like a part of like, family planning not being talked about or whatever. Cause I don't know if like teen pregnancies within like among white teens, what that looks like. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
like access to abortion or, like the percentages or whatever. Like, I don't know if like they're equal. We just don't really hear about
Mm-hmm.
white people's, whatever. So I say all that to say I'd be curious, like, if that has something to do with it because we don't really talk about, I feel like my parents told me stuff about protection and whatever, but it was still like in this taboo way versus like,
Yeah.
again, I said like freaking Mean Girls where it's like, can I get you anything? You guys need a condom? Like,
Yeah, I mean, of course, sex in general, the topic of sex obviously can be done better. I just think everyone is so fearful and awkward in the conversation, and so it's just manifest in fear and awkwardness as well. Um, but no,
we
I think
all need to
yeah, it's just
calm
that was just
down.
interesting. But then this is another. I feel like this kind of feeds into the other topic. So then I was scrolling through TikTok, and it was this girl. She was basically saying she's a wedding. She's a 2026 bride. And so she sent out invitations. And so for some of her friends who, were dating someone, so she didn't invite some of them because she's never met them. And she was saying that like some of these friends have responded back being like, well, I'm not coming because I don't have a plus one. And she was like, I like, hot take. If I'm like, if it's my wedding, if I don't know your boyfriend or whatever, I'm not inviting them. And so the comments were so interesting. It was a bunch of like white women being like, sorry, if my husband can't come or if my boyfriend can't come, I'm not coming. And I feel like that again, that kind of feeds into this like idea that like they are like it's just a very significant part of your life and they're part of you and it's a disrespect. And I kind of after watching the video was like, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I mean, I have been to plenty of weddings where the person has known that I was dating Julia and I got the invite and they didn't invite Julia because they don't know her. They're not fucking friends with her. And like that was fine with me. I came to the wedding dressed up in my like outfit, had a good time, drank, danced, and had fun with my friends. I don't see it as a fucking slight. But I feel like with straight relationships, it's very much like it might, if they see it as more disrespect because it's just more heteronormative, like, I'm not going, like, why isn't he invited? And I just think that like relationships are just such more serious in white worlds as we were talking about. But what are your thoughts on that? Because I'm like, yeah, like the wedding party has to pay for the plates. Like, you pay for the meals. Like, if you don't know the person, fine. You don't want to spend money on.
Period.
But I feel like
Yeah,
there was
it's
like,
not about you.
it's not personal. But then like the person quotes me, I mean, like stitching it was like, this is just strange. Like, why do you care if you don't know them? Like, just and like, I'm just like, I don't know. I just felt like it's just funny to me.
I
What are
mean,
your
it
thoughts on it,
depends
though?
on the person's. I feel like it just depends on the person's wedding. Like that's my thing. I feel like some of these people are not really friends because I know my friends that have a partner, like love their partner, like would usually bring them to the wedding. If I had a wedding and it was just for them, they would come and they would trust that, like this is just what
Mm-hmm.
Samantha wants. Maybe it's an intimate wedding. Maybe it's, she wants to do a circle and hold hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being dramatic. Like,
Right.
I feel like my friends trust me and I trust my friends to be like, okay, like this is the experience that they want. This is the type of wedding that it's going to be, even if it is like a regular wedding and whatever. I get that. Like, I think that's why I just feel like it's like these can't be their real friends because it should never be that serious of like, why can't I bring this person? And like, I also get you wanting to go to the wedding, like with, like bringing your person to the wedding. Like, it's fun to be a couple sometimes at a wedding because it's like about love and whatever. But again, you're not paying for all
Not
like
that deep.
you're not thinking about all of the things that go into it. Like maybe like like you said, just like the plates. There's a lot of things that go into having a wedding,
And
like
it's
the
just not
sending
that
home
deep.
gifts.
Is it that
Yes, it's not
serious
that
that your
deep.
partner needs to be at the fucking an event with you? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's what I'm
No.
saying. Like, maybe I'm just a bad girlfriend. I don't know. It's like, but I'm just like, I literally wouldn't blink at all. Like, I just be like, okay, like, what am I going to wear to the wedding
I
once I get
mean,
the invite?
I
Like,
honestly,
just,
yes.
it's
And if I
weird
was
to
the
me.
partner, I would be like, okay, like, you know what I mean?
Bet.
Like,
Right, exactly.
exactly. Have fun. What am I going to do this weekend?
I just
You
think some
know?
people see they're once they get married or once they're together for a while, like we are one. It's just like we're a package deal. And I think and they expect other people think of them like that. But I'm like,
Right.
no, like if you're my friend, when I want to hang out with my friend, I want to hang out with my friend. You know, like if I don't know you like that, or
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know you at all, yeah, like when my wedding comes, I'm inviting my friend. Like I don't know. I just find, but I also think that's a white thing. Like I think white families think of couples as a package. Like my mom does not think of me and Julie as a package.
Well, she did get a T-shirt at the baby's birthday
And
party. I
that's
wanted
because
one.
Akila asked me, like, oh, does Julia want a t-shirt? I'm like, oh, I guess she can make her one. But like,
That's cute.
but I feel like,
I'm just
it's
joking.
like when Julia's family like invites, like when they think of things to do with Julia, I am automatically in that thought. When my family thinks of things to do with me, Julia is not automatically in that thought. And I'm actually love that because I do think there needs to be like a separation. Sometimes I just want to hang out with my family, you know? Sometimes I just
Right.
want to
No, that's
with
real.
my friends. Sometimes I just want to go to a wedding with my friends, you know? And so I just feel like I think it
Hmm.
needs those
I think
conversations
it
because
is heteronormative. Yeah, I
mhm.
think it's like very heteronormative. And I think some people, they do hold that perspective of just like, they do start to think of people in couples, it's just like them, like, we'll invite them to the wedding versus like just that person. Yeah, I just don't think it's that serious. Like, even if I was like, damn, like, I would want to, like, say somebody had like a wedding in Aruba and I had a sexy man and they're like, but it's my friend. So it's like, I'm going to go to her wedding, even though like this would
Literally,
be a cute moment.
this is a comment,
It's
the first
not.
comment. If hubby can't go, I'm not going. um, um,
That is so fun. It's like, do you really believe that?
people are like, people really act like their weddings are celebrity events. Like, it's just like, why are y'all triggered by that? It's just like, I don't know. I think it's a white thing and a heteronormative thing.
I just feel like weddings are so personal. Like, and I know we've like talked about weddings randomly a lot on the show, like with like Disney weddings and whatever, Disney cruise.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
think weddings are just like, just do you, boo. Like, there's no, like, I don't know. I'm just like,
Do what makes you
if that's
happy.
how the
Like,
cookie crumbled for your
right.
wedding, then do it. Like, if
Not
that's
that
how the
deep.
budget worked, like, just go with it. Like, it's not worth ending a damn friendship over because you can't bring your
It's
significant
just a
other. And if it
party.
was that, be like, I don't know,
Why is
just
there
like,
like
I don't want to pay for
fragile?
this.
Where
Why do
that's
I
what
even have to tell you this?
I just don't care. Like maybe it's just like I just don't care. Like, it's just like I don't live for like my relationship's important to me, but I don't live for it in the sense that like I think some people it's like we're a package. It's just like who cares? Enjoy yourself at the party, like drink, like like dance. Like
What do you
why does
think
that
about
matter?
the first comment that I see is spouses are automatically invited, random BF girlfriend I haven't met? No. What do you think about that? Do you think that like it makes a difference if it's your spouse for a wedding?
I think if I really just think it comes down to like exactly what you said, like, do you boo? Like it's like if money permits you that you just need to have your
Mm-hmm.
like one friend there, then that's what it is. If you can afford spouses, fine. I feel like I don't care either way. Like if and when I get married, I will not give a damn if I get invited and Julia doesn't. Also, same with her. If she gets invited to a wedding and I didn't, I would not be triggered at all in any sense. I don't know what's the disrespect
You would
there.
be
Like,
happy.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I'm not going. What is the disrespect there? I don't understand that. I think
Sometimes.
like what
uh,
is the disrespect? Like what is the thing that people feel slighted by that you just aren't recognized? Like what is the disrespect there?
so slighted. Yeah, I don't know what the I don't know what the disrespect is either. Like maybe it's just like I don't know, because like I just even if I did wonder why, I would immediately think about the money. Like I wouldn't feel excluded. I would feel like this person, he can only afford one ticket. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, I just can't
Yeah.
go because he doesn't want his wife to go. Like that's not how my mind would be thinking.
Right. And I also just feel like I still know I'll have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I'll still know I'll have
Yes.
a good time, so it doesn't
Right.
matter.
And I think some people is not like that. Like I think they are like,
Mm,
and I even think some people like I've watched this video about I actually reposted it. It was like before you settle down, like make sure you like take a solo trip, like buy yourself something, like buy something off your wish list, like just because, like not because you did something, like, just
mm.
give yourself these things before you settle down. And I feel like the solo trip one, I feel like when you do get married and have kids, I it seems like in some people's relationships, like they don't go places without their family, like they wouldn't go on a solo
That's
trip
why
because
I
it's like what could happen? Like something could happen to you. What about the kids? Like, you know what I mean? And so I feel like
no, it's a really
once
good
you
point. I
get
mean, I
married, maybe people start to see you like that. And maybe
no,
that's the
that's actually a really
disrespect.
good
Like,
point.
doesn't he know that I have kids? And da 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 da. Da. Even though, again, I wouldn't think that. Like, I would be like, I feel like because we're millennials and some people are married and, have a house. And then some of us are like still figuring it out, like not married, or whatever. Like it just makes me think very openly about whatever this person got going on. Like if, with
Yeah.
my weddings, like of course, hopefully I would want everybody to be able to bring their person so we could have fun. But like I wouldn't be offended if that wasn't the case. Like, but
Yeah, I really think it goes to like when you get married, people see you as like they expect white, and I say this about white families. Like I don't know if this is well, maybe even in black families, but I would say yeah, maybe we'll just say families in general. I think there's this expectation that you're a package deal now, so it's just like, of course I need to invite so and so. It's like, but I hope that like I don't know, that just takes the fun out of it. It's like literally yesterday, like I went to get drinks with Courtney and Jocelyn, and I'm like, I wonder, like it's just like, so what when someone gets married, it's like, so we'll invite Julie and Alexis. It's like, no, like I just there has to be, I just don't think you should be seeing people as package deals. And I just feel like at weddings, I don't ever expect when someone's having a wedding that Julie is getting invited. Like if you told me right now you were getting married, I would not expect it. If it happened, good. If it didn't, it doesn't matter to me. But I feel like I feel like in a white straight world culture, like that's like a fuck you. That's a big disrespect. Um, and I just
it's
think it's
funny
funny.
because you say white. I'm like, I'd almost feel like black people do that too. Like certain
Do
demographic
you
of
think black
black
people would be
people
like, I'm not coming if
that
my
are
husband's not
married.
invited?
Yes, like
Mm-hmm.
some of these women that's just like my man, like heteronormative in that way. Like I could see that. Um, So somebody said, it's one thing having a child free wedding. I agree with that concept, but it's a completely different thing inviting someone, but not inviting their significant other.
Why?
That's weird. It said, that's weird.
Why?
It doesn't matter if you personally know them or not. If you invited a personal friend to your wedding, then your personal friend should be able to bring his or her significant other.
But what's the disrespect? Like that's like no one's articulating to me why it's disrespectful.
I think they're just like, this is a romantic place. Like, I don't know. I don't know, Alexis.
Like you think
I'm
somebody's trying to get
reaching.
with your man? Like I just don't understand what's the disrespect. Until someone can spell it out for me, I'm just like whatever.
It's some bullshit, Alexis. Like, whatever it is, it's like, doesn't make sense. It's about, and I don't even agree with this. Like, I mean, like, some people are like, I more so agree with this. Like, some people are like, don't have an event if you can't have an open bar. like
Yes,
don't
now that I
have
agree because
right. I agree with
I
that.
agree with
Like
that
I get more so get on
because you're
board with
trying to,
that.
yes,
Yeah,
I
you
mean, I
want people
agree.
to
It's like
come and
people, like, I
pay.
feel like the expectation is that people once, yeah, people like, you're inviting me to my event, I'm not going to spend money at the event. So it's like, if there's a bar, it needs to be free. Or if it's a dry bar, expect that then you'll get vibes, right? Like, don't expect that the dance
Mm-hmm.
floor is going to be packed till 2 a.m. if it's a dry bar. It just is what it is. There's expectations here.
It's just funny because people do have things where it's like you pay for what, like you pay for drinks, whatever. But I think that some people are thinking it, like, could be thinking of it in that way of like, well, don't have a wedding and invite this person if you can't invite their spouse. I think some people probably really hold that belief
And I hate people.
for weddings. Like, I feel like that's like probably some like wedding etiquette, but I think that we have outgrown some of that when it's just like I could see my friend inviting me to a wedding, like, and like you said, like wants to do like a sound bath before, and you know what I mean, and just like we're not even
Yeah.
thinking about like you bringing your person or something. But yeah, that's interesting. It's just
Yeah.
interesting of like
Anyway,
what things people can get mad at you about, and you have no idea why.
I agree.
you know.
Mhm. And until someone can articulate it, I don't get it. Like, because I think there's certain things that, like, I just feel like it's like a heteronormative norm that but they can't articulate the disrespect. Like, for example, one time, and I might have told you this before, like, Julia's mom was walking the dog and, well, like her dog, and she ran into another man who had like a dog who was the similar age. And they were like, her thought was like, oh, like we should like get the dogs together, like and have play dates and stuff. And so she was like, she was telling Julia the story and then was like, but I couldn't ask for his number because, like, like I didn't, like I need to run into his wife next so I can ask for his number. And I'm just like, the fuck? Like, what's the disrespect? Ask for the number. Like, it's not that you're wanting to fuck him. You're asking because you want the dogs to play. Like, I feel like that's like in my mind, I'm like, so what would have been she was like, I didn't want to be disrespectful to his wife. I'm like, what was the disrespect? Like, you're acting as though two people of different genders who are attracted to who are not who just like are attracted to that gender can't have each other's numbers in their phone. Like, it was just like one of those things that I was just like, what's the disrespect to the wife? Like, I don't understand that.
I know. Like, I'm telling you, that's one thing that's been like my lesson for today. There are many perspectives. Like, there are many perspectives of things that, like, I wouldn't assume are disrespect, but like somebody out there would, like somebody out there would be like, that is completely disrespectful. Like, you never get like, I'm thinking about like a Karen, not a
Mm-hmm.
white woman Karen, but like Karen from Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, it's just like you never get the man's number. Like, you go, so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that are
Yeah.
not as
Yeah.
casual because they have like a set of rule books that you might not always be thinking through. Like, cause I'm literally like, yeah, there's just so many things that's just like, you might be thinking that, but I don't have that lens. And maybe sometimes I do think about it. Like, I don't have that all the way, but being a Black woman and being not a Black, why am I talking like that? being, straight, or like, I'm not straight, but I'm like, I like men, so I dabble in
Just being you. Yes. Go ahead.
I dabble in the heterosexual dark arts. I just feel like, you know, I might think about that. Like, if I saw somebody, so for example, I'm gonna X their name out, but like his husband,
Uh-huh.
if I ran into her husband, because I actually have at the dispensary.
That's
But like if I
hilarious.
ran into her husband with like both of our dogs, I mean, that's different because I know. So that would be like,
Mm-hmm.
I could just hit her up. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Right.
like somebody like that. Like, I wouldn't like take his number. That would be a little weird, possibly.
If you
But I
knew,
could see
and
what
is it
you're
because
saying.
it's weird because you know the
Yeah. So like if it wasn't her, then like that's like somebody
Right.
in the
But if you
neighborhood or
didn't know the wife.
something. Right. Then
Right.
that wouldn't be weird. Because I wouldn't know that you were his wife. Like, you
Like
know
it
what I'm
would be
saying?
it's
Like,
the number or not.
it wouldn't be weird to exchange numbers for to play with the
Okay, good.
dogs. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what
You
that
know?
was. Like she did not know this person like at all. And then was like, but it would be disrespectful to the wife. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
That's some old school thinking, maybe.
It is. I just feel like I'm just glad I'm not in this like straight world, or that like my relationship doesn't mirror like heteronormative norms in that way, because I would be like constantly annoyed by just like the
Yes,
inefficiency of it, you know?
right. In the
Where it's
unspoken
just like
rules.
our dogs could have been playing by now, and now I have to wait till somebody else
Right.
comes around. Come on.
Exactly. Right. And that's something that you just can't, like, if you don't want that, like, you can't encourage that in your relationship. Like, I don't want to have to be thinking like I'm on eggshells all the time. like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's like literally it. Like you're all, like, and it's just funny because like even just like, have you seen those trends where somebody will like have their like another girl come up to their boyfriend and like hug them and be like, it was so fun last night, or they'll like say something like that and they want to see how their
Mhm.
boyfriend responds. And so it's always
Mhm.
like the boy's always just like, I don't know her, like what is she talking about? And it's like it's funny because I feel like if that happened to me with Julia, I wouldn't like, I would just be laughing like, oh my god, how do y'all know each other? Like, you know, just like I just feel like straightness is just like so toxic in so many ways, because it's just like I literally wouldn't bat an eye. I'd be like, oh my god, how did y'all know each other? What y'all doing last night? Like, you know, I wouldn't even be like, how do you know this bitch? Da, da, da. You know, it's just it's
Mhm.
crazy the little rules of it.
I mean, it's interesting though because whenever I start to talk like that, I have to always just be like, is that true though? Because I can see that in queer relationships too. Like I actually have, you
I
know
mean,
what I'm saying? Like,
yes. There are queer relationships where it mirrors boy and girl, like, and it's toxic and it mirrors
or
just,
just
you
like
know,
there's that type of jealousy of just like if they were like, oh, I had fun with you last night. Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying?
there,
Like I
there
could see
has to be
that.
a level of yeah, there has to be a level of trust in every relationship, right? Because I just feel like I know Julia. I mean, never say never, but I just don't think she would cheat on me right now. So it's like I feel like if someone said that, I'd be like, "Oh, what did they do? Tell me."
Mhm.
But you know, never say never.
I mean, I think there is a value in being kind of like, um, unencumbered by these like unwritten rules or whatever. It's just like, cause I feel like sometimes I can like be naive in a sense, maybe. Like I was like talking to Herbert and
Mhm.
Danielle about this, but just like, I don't view the world as everybody else does. And so like you said, I might be like, oh, what do you mean? What did you do? Like, like, and not really be thinking about, like, I actually do trust this person and I don't think that this person's about to like try to steal my man or whatever. And I feel like that's the better way
And
to be instead of just like having to,
yeah,
but it's hard. Like dating men or just dating people that can be two-faced or like, double live, like can lie. It's like you start to have to build that muscle of like not being so like, you might have to look into that. I don't know, girl. I feel like we're
um,
talking all around.
no, I think you brought up a
It's
really good
so
point.
many,
Um,
yeah, there's so
go
many
ahead.
different like
No, but like I'm
things to think about it.
yeah, it is so many different things to think about it. Anything else you want to talk about? This was fun though, just like talking about like phenomenons or like scenarios.
I know I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
I mean, Chloe Bailey's crazy ass. We are just
I'm concerned about the
sad.
girl.
Like it's
I
just sad.
think that she
Like we're just done with you at this point.
needs to, I think she's
Um,
really horny. I've been telling like I'm like I think she is. Oh,
She just froze.
Britney Spears. She's like the hip hop Britney
Yes, I
Spears.
saw that.
What did
What
you
was
think
she
about
meaning
that?
by that? I
I
didn't know
don't
what she
know.
meant by that because I'm like, I don't think she's at all at the like superstardom of Britney Spears in her prime. I don't think she's at all has the catalog of Britney Spears. Britney Spears has multiple albums that are like platinum albums, not two. I don't think she has
I
the
think she was more so
personality
thinking
of
about like
Britney Spears.
tabloids.
And as far as tabloids, I
If I
actually
had
don't
to
think she's all over
guess,
the. She's not okay. And if we even look at it for tabloids, she is nowhere near the 2000s like mania of like Britney Spears. Not in the 2000s, like the late 90s to the early 2000s to like 2008, almost 2010s when she like lost it. And like, no, nowhere near it. We're talking like people like she's pumping her gas at gas stations. There's like 5 different paparazzi cars around her. She's screaming at them, "Fuck you!" with the like with a bat, like in bald
yeah,
head.
you
Like
don't.
she's
I was
nowhere
like, don't
near.
claim that over her life. Honestly, that's what I thought when she said it. I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't want that.
It's
You don't want
dangerous.
that. You don't want that
Brittany
girl.
could not like like we're talking in an era where
Brittany is
you know how like they
still
can all
going
just
through
be in
it.
their gated community. Yeah, and just like there was a time where like now they're like all in their gated communities. They can buy their privacy and they're only seen when they want to be seen. There was a time where that just wasn't common practice. Like there would be pictures being like this is like I remember looking at People magazines and it would be like Ben Affleck coming to get his newspaper in the morning and you would see his gate opening and him walking out to get it. It's like there was no like you can retreat to the Hollywood Hills and have your like life. They were in your backyard, like she has no
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting in your car at Starbucks, like camera here, like mm.
She just is, I think she's probably just ill informed. Like she just said that. I don't think she really believed, like,
Like, girl,
you know what I mean?
you're not Britney Spears at talent and in range and impact and tablet. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but it just takes a career. It takes a long career for that. Britney Spears is an icon. This is not you yet. You
I
will
mean,
be an
people
icon, but you're
are
not there yet. You can't have two
literally.
albums.
Did you see that girl that's like on TikTok and she like looks just like Britney Spears? It's like she's a
And she
person that
what?
like she looks just like Britney Spears. Like she's like that's her like job is to,
Oh, that's the
you
way it
know,
is.
you know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
they have
yeah. Be a Britney
lookalikes
Spears
and
lookalike.
stuff. Yes, it's like that is the level Britney
Mm-hmm.
Spears is at. People have like lookalike. Like this is her whole
Exactly. It's just, I
career.
don't know.
It's lookalike Britney Spears.
I mean, I feel like we've talked about this where I'm like, I just don't like sometimes the disrespect of Britney, and not that she's disrespecting Britney, but I feel like the just like the not understanding of the magnitude of how famous and talented this person was is very annoying to me because I'm like, in no world if you understand Britney's like full impact, stardom, and mania that was around her. Like she at one point was more famous than Beyonce. It's
Yes,
like
she was.
her and Justin
Beyonce was coming
Timberlake
for her title.
when
Yes.
they were like when they were dating, like that was mania around them. Like I just don't think people understand that. And so I'm just like, she at one point, Janet Jackson was like, this is my, this is the next person that like is me, dancing and singing. Like I just don't think people understand that. Like Michael Jackson had Britney Spears doing like tributes to him. Like this just you're nowhere near that. You're nowhere near that girl in any way, shape, or form. You will be birthday twin, no disrespect, but no, no.
I mean, it's just I chalk it up to, you know, just like not ignorance, but just like not really thinking that comment through. And I'm more so just like, girl, you don't speak that over your life. You do not
You don't
want
want
that.
that, right? You don't want that. Like that level of mania drove many people crazy. Lindsay Lohan for a little bit. Um,
I
fucking
mean, it
Britney
has
Spears.
affected her to this day. You can see it. Like,
Yeah, she's still dealing with it. Like you don't want that
and just
shit.
to say it, it's just like, that's gonna I don't think Cardi B sometimes thinks through, what
Mm,
she's talking about. I think
mhm.
like she reflects on it later and like, I do think she be learning from from stuff, you know, like I think she can be reflective, but yeah, so that was more so my thought about it.
Let's wrap it up here. We're gonna hit an hour. This was fun. I actually enjoyed having like a more so like less celebrity heavy episode here and there. So I think that was fun. I think people are gonna be laughing at some of the shit we said. But
yes, y'all, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We will definitely be back next week. If there is anything juicy, maybe we'll do just called to say, but we'll see if that happens.
Absolutely.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Email us at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
I'm gonna send you the cold videos when we hang up. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.